Hey folks, NYKF31 here, Madden 18. This is actually a MUT salary cap ranked game here. I haven't played too many of these as of yet. This is only my fifth game, I believe. So yeah, I haven't been on the MUT salary cap streets that much, with DC glitchers abounding, online CFM beginning. Yeah, just hasn't really been part of the rotation, but I kind of want to get back into it between CFM games and whatnot. And what I'm going to do in this video, and other guys have touched on this over the past week or so, but kind of give you my mindset and my approach with dealing with the online community's most annoying defense, the 3-4 base align, show 2, cover 4 drop. And if you're going to be playing online, you're going to be seeing it, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with it. People are not going to care about your feelings, so they're going to do it. They're going to, copy what people do and let it roll. So if you're struggling with it, what can you do? Best thing to do, and I was guilty of this at first, is don't overthink it. Don't think too much. The number one thing to remember, and Beast Mode for MVP, who I follow on Twitter, he once said something that's the truest thing in the world about this game. Madden is a base play game, mainly because not enough constraint plays are either in the game or work. So the only things that tend to work are base plays. And you're going to make mistakes. Unless you're Skimbo and are just a cyborg, you're going to do stuff like that from time to time. You're going to, not see something there. I was backed up. I just didn't have my line of sight that I usually have, and I threw an INT. Shake it off, adapt, and overcome. So, yeah, like I was saying, just keep in your mind that this is a base play game. So think of the base, most simple ways to attack a cover 4 and combine that with the base plays that you know the game can run. And there's a couple of ways you need to go about it. One is like this, run a lot of draws and delays. Reason being is that people will creep those safeties all the way up. And they do that 9 times out of 10 when they're crowding everyone to the line of scrimmage during cover 4 drop. Now what's annoying is that unlike in the real world where you can, because what they'll tend to do is to read the pass action first, and that will give you some room to maneuver and run, between the tackles a little bit. And once you can establish that you can do that, you can attack in the passing game one of a couple of ways. One is a lot of levels concepts, have multiple people running across the field at multiple depths. I like to have a square in and a post, or double post, and a square in or shallow cross coming across the field, either from a stock play or creating it myself. Create your own bootleg pin and mills concepts to occupy the safety either vertically down the seam or to have them account for potential backside or strong side deep square in paired with a post route. That's really the best way to go about freeing up some space to get behind the defense and get yards downfield. It's nice to have a check down in the form of a hitch or a smoke screen, as well as a shallow cross, as well as sideline levels concepts. The game does not have a whole heck of a lot of them, so you're going to have to get a little creative and create your own. Like right here, I have a deep out and the back on a shallow out, and I just read the level. If it's a hard flat, hit the deeper out. If it's a cloud flat or a curl flat, hit the back. And the next play, come back with the same concept but a similar look. I had the tight end actually on a whip route tied to that corner route, and I had my choice of open receivers there. I just happened to run out of room on the sideline. Maybe I get called for intentional grounding. What you saw, though, is that it has forced him to jump out of just calling cover 4 drop every down, and we got into a game of cat and mouse of when he was in cover 4 drop, when he was audibling to a cover 2 or a cover 3, or when he was bluffing. You have to show enough to let people know that you know how to attack this, either by establishing early that you're going to take those shots down the field with your pin concepts and mills concepts, or setting those shots up with your draws and your shorter passing game, and then taking your shot when you get that look that you want, and you can take your shot over the top outside with a guy like John Ross, who I feel is vital to have in salary cap rank. A guy like John Ross, Tyreek Hill, either version of him, a J.J. Nelson, someone who can take the top off on the outside when you get that opportunity. A baby goat Moss who can do the spec catch on the outside or beat a corner on the outside who may not be all that fast. Because if you can't do these things, you're just going to see it down after down after down. You're going to get frustrated, you're going to get aggravated, and it will be a miserable experience. And it is annoying. Someone should not be able to align their defenses in the way that people can align their defenses in this game and get away with it. But for whatever reason, the lateral movement of these players is just really, really fast. So even though, yes, some formations have better wide receiver splits, you're still stuck with a lot of formations that have the same legacy spacing issues. So it can be tough. But like I said, the key is to keep your head. Don't think too much, and stick to high-low reads that you can read, pretty easily, either to one side of the field or going over the middle. Run your delays, use your backs, and take your calculated shots when you set them up. Don't rage throw downfield and try to force things. And you'll probably be okay, as he's going to tie the game up here as I'm playing pretty soft there on 3rd and 10, which I got to stop doing. I was actually talking to Zan about that the other day. I got to blitz more. Got to blitz more on those 3rd and 10 and 4th and long situations. I can end these games a heck of a lot sooner instead of being in a 14-14 game and having to pound the game out against a guy who I feel like I'm better than. Get these guys out of the way early and, avoid the chance of a fluke happening to you the longer you keep a guy around. Again, there, same concept, high-low to the outside. I had that on both sides, and I just picked what I liked better, and here we get Randy Moss here on the high point pass in the end zone. So 21-14, I should be fine here. I mean, he's only scored, I gave him one score on the pick six, and he's only scored one offensive touchdown. He forces the out. We got Ramsey sitting there. He makes the play, so I just need to score again and put a ribbon on this. And look how bad he has that defense aligned. And still look at how hard it is to get it over there. And that's why you got to get John Ross, because John Ross can run right by it. But it's just irritating. There's no way you should have your defense or be able to have your defense lined up that horrifically and be able to have any modicum of success. But you saw how he was able to skate back, and the only thing that saved me was because John Ross was just faster. So it's all over but the crying. He's not going to score 2 times in 2.5 minutes. We get the user pick, and he is going to eject. So we are going to get out of here. So yeah, I really need to get to work on getting better at cooking up some blitzes. I mean, this guy completed less than half of his passes, and he was still lingering around late into the game, into the late 3rd quarter. I need to KO, guys like that in the first half and just move on. You see my pretty little level up there. I'm 4-1. The one game I lost was actually to a guy who was on the leaderboards last year for the most part. Almost qualified for one of the last couple of majors. He's actually one of Zan's subscribers, Real Boomhauer. He played in the NYC tournament a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm standing up for myself in the salary cap mutt streets. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.